Yeah.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my goodness, man. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. This is Nostalgia Land. If you've never listened to us before, I'm Matt. This is Trey and Tyler. We are friends from childhood, from life, and we talk about everything nostalgic from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, anything we like, anything we find nostalgic. But God, you know what? Honestly, the other day I was sitting around and went 20 years ago was 2006. 20 years ago was 2006. 20 years ago was 2006.
The one that always gets me is when they go to the future in Back to the Future 2. Yeah, we passed that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we're beyond that now. What? Don't they go back to 2025?
I think so.
Isn't that right? Yeah, because they're like, oh, this is
It's
the future. No, it's not. That's
somewhere
not the
around there,
future at
and
all.
we have left it in the rear view.
They couldn't have been more wrong with the future. They should have stuck going back to the past, I think.
They should have worked on self-drying jackets.
Yeah.
We do have self-lacing shoes. Those do exist.
Yeah, but don't they cost like $1 bajillion?
Well,
Bajillion and a half usually.
And
Yeah.
it's like our grandmother used to say, it's just one more thing to break.
I would have loved your grandma.
I found out that my grandmother had money, the one that lived in North Carolina. She had a lot of money, and she always drove like a basic Jeep Cherokee.
Basic.
And like so basic that it didn't have a side mirror on the passenger side. It only had a side mirror on the driver's side.
That's so you can whip your head out the door.
Roll down windows, push button like locks, like
yes,
not power locks, everything. And my dad always said like, yeah, he was like, let's go, we'll get you like a Cadillac or something. And she's like, no, it's just one more thing to break. All
I
that
like
power
this woman.
stuff.
I like this woman a lot. We could have hung out. At it. Yeah, man, I agree with that philosophy. It's just like, yeah, we could have that. It's just another thing this works fine. I'm totally fine as long as it works and it's not like it's not causing you like daily issues where it's like this is interrupting my schedule. Yeah, just keep that. It'll be totally
it's like
fine.
The wheel, it works.
Why reinvent that? We have it. Just leave it alone. So, anyways, welcome to our show. I can't tell you how much I appreciate to be here. Today we're tackling 1994. It's Oscar winning, right? I'm not crazy. Did I misread that?
Didn't it win like 6 Oscars?
I think it won a shite ton of Oscars, more than I think it deserved. But
Forrest Gump.
More than it deserved. Have you watched this movie? It's fantastic. Which is the weirdest thing in the entire world, because when you look at this movie on paper,
yes,
what are we talking about here?
Why would this work? Why would this work at all?
Like it's a movie about a dumbass who does a lot of stuff.
Is he a dumbass or is he like on the spectrum?
Well, I mean, now I guess you would say he's on the spectrum.
Well,
75 though, no, because there's
go to the special school. Like she had to
he had to go to the special school because he was retarded. Like his IQ was 75. Which he needed to be 80 to go to the school.
Being that this movie's from the 60s and 70s and 80s mostly, like no one says retarded in the entire series.
No,
in the entire film.
They just ask him directly to his face if he's stupid or something.
He's just stupid. Yeah, he's like, stupid ass, stupid does, man. I want to shout out to one of our friends and fans, John Pedigo Art.
Check it out.
I bought some artwork from him, a print. I need to get it framed, but I was gonna put it up behind me here so it's always a part of our show. But with his artwork, he sends some stickies, and I love a sticky. And I put a sticky on my Mikey because that's where it needs to be. So that's man, love his style.
Sticky on his wicket, it became his sticky wicket.
Sticky wicket. Love the guy, man. So check him out. Just good stuff. John Pedigo. I'll get his tag and I'll post it in the video soon here. But yeah, man, rewatching this, especially rewatching it like 3 or 4 times with Tom Hanks, as much as I love Tom Hanks and I loved this movie and I thought it was so brilliant and stuff. At the very, like you said, if you read this on paper, you would be like, why is this human being so psychotic to start this kind of conversation? Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, just paint a picture. Paint a picture here. You're a nurse. You just got off a 12-hour shift in Savannah, Georgia. You find yourself trying to go home. 12 hours. You've been on your feet, exhausted, tired, ready, like done with people altogether. And you sit down at the bus stop bench and you're trying just to disassociate and read your book. In walks this 6'2" white male with a obvious learning impediment and starts talking to you specifically about your shoes.
That's right.
And how your shoes are somehow stirring within him this depth of like nostalgia for his shoes, and he's not stopping no matter how politely you disengage with him. Like he's like she's sitting there, is like, those look like comfortable shoes, and she's like slowly like I'll see you later. She's slowly inching off that bench like, God, I bet you could run a mile in those shoes.
I bet you could walk all day and not feel a thing.
But I'll catch you no matter what, because I'm faster. You ever seen me run? I'm that guy. The way this movie starts in a logical perspective is insane. And I think if we can all agree on that, I can move past it, and then we could talk about how amazing
There's nothing insane about
and
this
great this movie is. Okay, if we can get past the idea of like someone sitting on a park bench and starts talking about your shoes and is like basically forcing you to listen because he's not giving up. Like as much as you remove yourself. What did you say, Trey?
He offered you chocolates, okay? You
Hey, Dad, you want some chocolates? You got to turn off your mic a little bit more, but I want to hear you more. I want to make sure the audience hears Trey in this show because I feel like you got a lot to say, bud.
Well, basically, this movie's about Captain Alabama. We have Captain America. This is Captain Alabama because it's like football Forrest, Vietnam Forrest. Oh, Apple and computer company Forrest, bubblegum ship company Forrest.
It's not a
from
shield.
1950 to 1980. Forrest, get Elvis Forrest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine instead of Captain America's shield, what Captain Alabama has on his
He's got shoes.
Yeah, shoes and a bat shaped like a question mark.
Or he's got like a giant ping pong paddle.
No, he's got you know what he has? He has a giant shield that says "Roll Tide" on it.
Yeah, it's the Roll Tide and a big
An
shrimp.
Alabama helmet. Just
Roll Tide with a big shrimp, like a fighting shrimp behind there.
It's a giant ping pong paddle that says "Roll Tide."
That's what he's going around smacking everybody in the Avengers. Well, did you call Forrest? Did you see if he was available? Hey, what's running?
Yeah, this is one of the first movies that worked in CGI pretty like seamlessly. This is right around the time of Jurassic Park when they did it. Where CGI, it was like cutting edge technology, and they do such a phenomenal job.
We get CGI JFK.
Yeah, well, with the feather and all the presidents, and then like especially later on with Lieutenant Dan.
Yes,
the work they do with Lieutenant Dan and his legs is incredible.
A little side cut. Would he be the most historically accurate person in this movie?
I think Lieutenant Dan.
The guy who lost his legs in Vietnam and got depressed, and then the VA hooked him up with new legs.
Well, I mean, that part not so accurate, I guess.
Oh yeah,
I definitely think though, like,
veterans were not treated well.
Yeah, I definitely think though Lieutenant Dan, like his journey, like through going to the war and coming back and not being treated, not being taken care of the way he should have been taken care of, and then his journey through. I feel like I'm sure you're absolutely right. He is the most accurate because Tyler and I were talking right before you came on, Trey, and we were like, are we not dumb enough to be successful the way that Forrest Gump is?
Stumble into shit.
That's it. Are we not dumb enough to stumble into shit and be like, oh, now I own part of Apple Computer. Well, it's a fruit company and I don't have to worry about money.
That's like my favorite line in the movie, though. When And he
One
talks
more
about
thing.
it. That's my favorite line of the movie.
One less thing.
One last thing.
We invested in some fruit company, and they told us we wouldn't have to worry about money no more.
Yeah,
And
I
said,
love how they do it too. How
"That's
Robert
good."
Zemeckis did it, where he's delivering that, and he said he sent me a letter and told me we invested in some fruit company. It's him opening the letter, and there's the Apple, the old
Yes.
Macintosh logo on there.
The rainbow
Went back
one.
when it was
The best
when it was
logo.
Apple Macintosh and not just Apple. Oh, there's a
and he's
baby
like-
in the background.
And they
Oh,
said
I
we
thought I
didn't have
heard
to worry
something.
about. They said we didn't have to worry about money no more. I said that's
That's it.
good. It's one less thing.
One less.
One last thing. Yeah.
Well, it's really funny because right when the movie starts off, and like you said, he's talking to this woman who happens to be black on the bench about his shoes, and he says, "If I think real hard, I can remember my first pair of shoes." And it starts the journey that is Forrest's life, and it's him in the doctor's office,
Kicking his
getting his scoliosis test,
Oh.
where you find out that he's crooked as a question mark. But
Tell me
talks
again.
about
You're trying to think about your first pair of shoes, and let me give you my reaction to that. No, go ahead.
I bet if I think real hard, I can remember my first pair of shoes. Yeah, I can totally see that. Like, I gotta go.
Sir, I am trying to get home to my 3 children and my husband,
Would you
who are
leave me
waking up
alone?
for school this moment. Will you
Forrest
please
Gump-
not murder me?
Forrest Gump would never happen today because if that happened, you know what she would have done?
Yeah, exactly.
Headphones and disassociation. Thank God the
And then-
Walkman wasn't around.
Well, and then Forrest would have just kept talking to himself. He wouldn't have recognized
Yeah,
that she
that's
put
true.
in
I
headphones.
don't pick
She
up
didn't
on the
recognize social
social
media?
cues.
Yeah.
Are you doing that thing where you look at books and read the words? I don't understand.
He
what
then
that
goes
is.
on to tell this woman where he got his name, which is the most ridiculous thing in the
Yeah.
entire world to tell to
You
a
should
poor
not.
black woman sitting on a bench.
You should not. Yeah,
He
you
tells
shouldn't
her
tell
that his
people your
his
name.
mother named him after the Civil War general Nathan Bedford Forrest,
Yes.
who started a
The
group
Klan.
called the Ku Klux Klan, and they put sheets on their heads and they even put sheets on their horses, and they rode around town in circles.
I can't believe
I
shit
don't-
out of like.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, this lady's
Sir.
gotta be like, who the hell are you? But
just
then I
wanna
like how
get
they-
home.
I like how his mother, brilliantly played by Sally Fields. I mean,
yes.
I don't know what this movie, what this woman can do that's not a smash. I mean, she just wrecks it every time. But she says, so you remember that people do things that you don't understand, or something like that. She basically like says, so you don't forget that there's evil in the world and people do stupid things that that don't make sense. So that's why she named him Forrest after the general who started the Ku Klux Klan. Like, what?
Yeah. And then
Okay,
his
I
mama
guess.
said he's
So-
going to be real rich, but he's going to be real dumb.
And then he runs for politics. I think that's like Forrest Gump too. Sorry, I'm not gonna go down that road.
Was he like
but I do kinda
was he
wanna
like
go down that road.
Facebook before Facebook? Like this guy became an influencer? Like he was David Goggins before David Goggins? Like I'm gonna run
Oh, yeah.
across America.
Was
Get
it
up.
running?
My
That's
story.
exactly
12
who he-
years old. No parents.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well, maybe except his whole story was I just felt like running, and nobody could understand that I just felt like running.
Just
Yeah.
felt like
I'm not running for any
running.
purpose or any reason. Well, he was technically running to get over depression
And
We'll get to
today he
that.
would have had.
because because the most evil person in the world
Oh my
was involved in his
God,
life.
dude! This wow.
Yeah. Well,
And
so
Forrest has the emotional availability of a Labrador Retriever. Just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Just hit me again.
He's kind of dumb, but he's real loyal. He'll
I
stick
mean-
with you no matter what. You don't.
I mean,
you
they don't
lose-
come more loyal than Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump sets the bar for where
He
I
would have
think
had
we
an
all should be.
electrolyte sponsorship and like his own CNN sit down if he ran across the country.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, he could have easily definitely got Nike on board at least. Or I mean, he was flashing their stuff the whole time. Whole time he's running across it's Nike shoes, man. And then there's a couple of scenes where he had Nike clothes on and
Yeah,
the
sure.
Adidas shorts. I'm pretty sure on that, but we can get to that. But so,
God.
anyways, Forrest Gump. He reminds this young black woman that his great granddaddy started the Ku Klux Klan. Was just just puts you at ease. It just makes everything feel right and okay and safe as you're waiting for a bus on a public park bench. And he starts just sharing the stories about how his legs were strong, but his back was real crooked because of
Like a question mark?
scoliosis.
He was
Yeah,
crooked
well,
like a question mark.
his back
Yeah.
was crooked like a politician.
Yeah.
That's what the doctor says. And then later,
This doctor's on it.
when they go back to they leave the doctor, they go back to the house, and he's explaining, where they live in Greenbow, Alabama, outside Greenbow County, and they go down this beautiful tree-lined road to
Oh,
their
it's
home,
gorgeous. Yeah.
which is this, wonderful like plantation style house, but supposedly that wasn't there at all. It had been burned down in like the 1800s or 1900s, and the
what?
set designers came in and built a house in like 2 months or something like that, that looked like it had been there for hundreds of 100 years or more.
That's where you just
but-
don't finish you don't finish the paint or the detail. You just
yeah, only where you're filming
outside for a little bit. Yeah.
But so Eddie explains how his mother would rent out the rooms of the home because his mom was real smart. But they did such a good job with the child casting in this movie. The kid Forrest Gump, he really does look similar to Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks got the voice, the speech, the sound from this child who was like from deep Mississippi.
My dad works with grease.
Yeah, there's a great interview on the Graham Norton show with Tom Hanks where he talks about getting the voice from him, and that's how he says he really hit on his G's.
Yeah.
And he strung them way out. It was like, oh, he was climbing. Yeah.
Great balls of greater fire.
Grease is in lots of products. Lipsticks.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's played by Michael Connor Humphreys, which actually he's gotten back in the acting game. He did actually serve in our military, and then he was in Pathfinders in the Company of Strangers, which is from 2011. Not sure where that's streaming. Cool. Something in the Grand Ole Opry. Like he's just kind of been popping around here and there, and then
well, I know that he struggled to get more acting work when he was young because of his thick accent, his thick Southern drawl.
That's hard.
Could have been in Django.
Products.
Oh,
he could have.
He should have been in Django.
Could have been in Django.
Oh man, that would have been great. I would have loved that.
But then he goes to school and the bus pulls up, and it's one of the funny callbacks that they do in the movie. But Forrest goes to get on the bus, and he's just standing there, and the woman is cigarette hanging out of her mouth, opens the doors. She's like, this is a bus to school, right? He says, yeah, but my mom told me not to take rides from strangers. And she's like, well, what are you gonna do? And he says, I'm Forrest Gump. And she says, and I'm Dorothy Harris. Well, now we ain't strangers no more.
Yeah,
that's gets on the bus.
It's so sweet.
And when you do research on this movie, everybody has to point out this part, that the first girl that says seats taken is Tom Hanks's daughter.
F you, Dad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's some serious nepotism running around in here.
And you get some of the most ridiculous accents of the whole movie at this part, with the small children telling him, "Can't sit here.
Can't sit here.
Seats taken.
Seats
taken.
Taken. Yeah, the way that kid says taken is just, oh man, it's nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, like,
just looking
dude,
at the death.
Not cool. Just not happening.
You're not gonna do it. You won't.
No. Yeah, and
then you're introduced to the most beautiful thing he'd ever laid his eyes on.
Beautiful thing I've ever seen.
His Jenny.
Jenny.
She says, "You can sit here if you want."
But it's so really sweet. It's so
it really
cute.
Is.
I mean, it's great the way that they set it up, that he is obviously either by reputation or by visual, like people can see something's wrong with this one. Don't sit next to me on the bus.
Well, he's wearing leg braces.
Yeah, I mean, but even still, like I guess
kids are evil.
Kids are awful. But you know what I have to say about this generation that I've noticed with my kids is they don't bully each other. They are so nice to each other. In 9 out of 10 times, I will say there's a couple times we've had issues with some kids saying something mean, but like 9 out of 10, the kids today, like if they saw another kid wearing like braces on their legs like that, I'm sure they'd be like, that's just what he needs in his life journey at the moment.
Some kids would be like, what the hell are those?
Hey, mom, quick question. Fuck are these? What's going on?
If these were like New York street children in the Bronx, they'd be like, my dad says your back's fucked up.
You want a cannoli?
You must got that scoliosis.
My father says you're queer.
$20 for pizza?
$40 for pizza. My dad says something's wrong with you. Do you want to come in for some spaghetti?
Nice spaghetti.
Let's go. With
a little mozzarella.
With the mozzarella.
What do you think, you're Iron Man with them boots on?
Oh man, if they redid Forrest Gump in its Italian Bronx, how messed up this movie would be just the whole time. Yeah, he'd fucking dumb and
dead in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah, he'd be in the mafia.
I will say, because
he would have stumbled into being one of Al Capone's like
Capone's guys, yeah, like, or God, he would have been their Terminator. Because the way when someone hurts Jenny in this film, he turns into the T-800 or the T-1000, whichever it is, and he immediately he just like operates. He's just like, walk this way, kill this person, punch.
My daughter was sorry, my daughter was trying to break in the door.
That's all right. Let her break in. She's coming. Come on, she's part of this show.
My wife got that tighter than the lid on a pickle jar. Nope.
Welcome to life with kids who are mobile and know something's going on.
Something's happening.
Yeah, that's why I locked this door, because even as old as they get, 10 and 7, my kids will still be like, sugar, 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 sugar. What are you doing? Sugar, 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 sugar. I need to go to the bathroom. Like, just go. Just why
you're
are you
old enough
talking
to
to
do
me?
that yourself?
Go. Anyways. Yeah, so him and Jenny meet on the bus. It's a super sweet scene. It's really classic. And they just set it up really great that she just understands him. She sees his nature is very kind and very gentle spirit, but he's a little slow. So you then have this great dynamic where he's just like, you're the first kind person to me, and I'm just going to be loyal to you for the rest of my life. Like, no
even says that
matter what.
She was the only person other than his mama who ever asked him questions.
Right.
Like, think about that.
That was her first question.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of skipped over when they're living in the house and there's all the borders and stuff, and
no, that comes next.
Is it after?
I thought that was after. I thought when he starts meeting famous people. Is that right?
No, because they do the famous people stuff. Then she goes and meets the principal. Then it's the bus scene.
Oh, right. Thank you, the principal.
Yeah.
Talk about
so they're in the house with the boarders, and he basically Elvis Presley is a boarder in their home, and he says, people would come and stay, and they would live out all kinds of different their different cases, their suitcases and their briefcases, and even their sample cases. And one man, he had a guitar case. and he's playing You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. And Forrest's got the broom, and he's doing all these wacky dance moves with his braces on his legs. And you know who the voice of Elvis is for this? A lot of people thought that they used old recordings and clippings, but it's Kurt Russell.
Nice.
Oh, who was really?
Ego.
Yeah, he was uncredited for the movie. He did it as a favor to director Robert Zemeckis, but he had played Elvis in a made-for-TV movie in the late 70s. And when you go back and you actually listen, knowing it's Kurt Russell, you can hear Kurt Russell. But it's really good. Like, he does a really good Elvis Presley impersonation. But, I love the little things that they do that tie Forrest into these historical moments all throughout, where then you see they're walking down the street after shopping, and they go by an appliance store, and there's Elvis in the window doing the dance moves that Elvis was so famous for, that were just Forrest dancing with braces on his legs. And his
Makes a
mother
lot of
says,
sense.
"This isn't for children's eyes," and drags him away.
I wonder about that. I wonder about that, like if the prop like influenced the script, or if the script was already set that he was going to do, like if they got the young Forrest Gump actor in those leg braces and they said like, do a little dance, and he did like that little shake. Hey, that kind of looked like Elvis. Oh, why don't we have Elvis Presley in this movie? He meets him, like, or if it was pre, written to play out that way. I would love to know that from the screenwriter.
I would feel like that's some scripted stuff.
Yeah,
because I know it was a book before it was a movie, so we'd have to go back to like the source material and see if maybe they just got the ideas that Forrest was in these moments, and they just that's something that they used.
The novel.
But then she goes to meet the principal because his mother wanted him treated normal. She wanted him to feel like he was a normal kid. He got the same opportunities as everybody else, and you get one of the most ridiculous scenes in the movie. It's so funny, where he basically is explaining to her that to go to public school in Alabama at the time, you needed an 80 IQ, or an 80 IQ, and Forrest was just below with like a 75 IQ.
Yeah,
and so he's going to have to go to a special school, and nowadays that would be like a school where you get more attention and they work harder with you to help you learn the same stuff, but you learn at a different pace or with more attention, more one-on-one time. Back in the day, it meant you're going to go to school to learn how to retread tires, or chip paint off walls, or some ridiculous thing like that.
Chip it? Don't you mean lick it? I'm pretty sure this was 1950 something.
Did you eat paint chips as a child?
Yes, that was my job at the local infirmary. I would eat the most paint chips of anyone.
His mom basically fights for him and says, there must be something that can dumb it. It's 5 measly points. And then you get the sleazeball guy who says, the principal is like, "Is there a Mr. Gump? Mrs. Gump?" And she gives the classic Sally Field face when she says, "He's on vacation." And the way she like cocks her face when she says vacation is so classic Sally Field. Like you could see her doing that in Miss Doubtfire, in Steel Magnolias. You could see that face coming out when she's just like so annoyed and ridiculous.
Doubtfire, Steel Magnolias, Sybil.
She's
Did you guys
Smoking
ever watch
the Bandit.
Sybil, Smoking the Bandit? Yeah. What else?
If you ever watched ER, she's in a few episodes of ER as a nurse's bipolar mother, and I think she won an Emmy for her work in that. It's
I've got these
incredible.
Oscars in my case. Let me go ahead and work on this Emmy real quick.
Yeah. Oh, let me film like 4 episodes of ER and get an Emmy for that real quick.
Oh, there's not enough awards to go around this year? No problem. I'll just take them all. Just hand them over.
And I think she did the famous "You love me, you really love me" speech at the Oscars, didn't she?
I think yes. I believe
you love me, really love me.
You hold me closer, Ed.
I'll tell you, I watched. It's getting dark.
Pardon me. The Mask. We'll do that movie one day.
I'll tell you this with Sally Field. It was a TV miniseries, but Sybil, it's just 2 episodes. You can find it on YouTube and stuff like that from the 76. And she plays a woman who's afflicted by multiple personalities, and she does an incredible job at
when she's on ER, she plays a woman that's afflicted with bipolar disorder.
Yes,
like and she does mental health like nobody's business.
She does a great job there.
She's an advocate.
That I don't know why that made me think of Anchorman when they're doing the bloopers, and Champ goes, "You know what? You fry any meat, it tastes just like chicken. Name a meat." And Paul Rudd's like, "Name a meat?" He's like, "Yeah, name a meat. Chicken."
Chicken.
Okay, so
then back to the movie. She convinces him to go to the house. Well,
yeah, he's like, "You guys need to shut the fuck up."
Yeah, they go to the house, and they basically have some sexy times so that Forrest can go to regular school. But the principal's just making this god awful noise, and
awful,
he comes
dude.
down. And he's all sweaty and wiping his brow, like putting his clothes back on. And Forrest is sitting on the porch, and he says, "Your mama really cares about your education, son." And
Boy,
Forrest just his only response is,
He started making the noise.
which is the noise that the guy was making, and he just is like mortified and takes off.
I was traumatized as a kid by that sound. I don't know. I didn't understand what was happening, and now
So
as an
brutal.
adult, it was just like, this is awful.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Stop it.
Well, then Forrest goes to school, and you get the building of their relationship between Forrest and Jenny, and they really did have a beautiful friendship when they were young. She taught him how to climb, and he taught her how to dangle.
How to dangle.
She taught him how to dance, and he taught her how to swing.
Which was locking his feet in the knock of the tree and just hanging from him.
Which is totally cheating because he had braces on his legs.
Yeah, man.
This hurts my shins. I can't
Yeah,
do
this kills, dude. This hurts so bad. I just broke my knees.
I think it's crazy though, because so that's where we get that really famous scene where these kids from school see this poor crippled boy and they're like, let's throw rocks at him.
And
why?
That nailed him with this first rock. Like he
the head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just,
I want to know.
I love how he just kind of falls out of the frame. Like
he takes it and be like, it's not that kind of movie.
It reminds me of that Pete Holmes bit where it's Batman and the Joker and he's in the interrogation room, but he's like, you need to enunciate. Batman punches him and he's like, do you know what enunciate means? It has nothing to do with physical contact.
I was thinking of the one where he punches his hand and he goes, who punches a hand? Why? So he's yelling. These kids, they're chucking rocks at him. And that's where you get Jenny in that slow motion draw. Run, Forrest! I swear it's that slow. At a point, you're like, maybe speed it up a little, Mr. Zemeckis. I think that's
just
a little touch.
Although Run, Forrest, Run is still famous today, so I think he hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. Well, then it cuts to high school, right? Where
well, he takes off running down the road, and that's when he breaks out of his
when the super soldier serum kicks in and he breaks out of his leg.
Yeah. Matt and I were talking about this, and it's like, did he have superpowers? Like, what is this? What is going on?
Alabama.
Well, his leg braces break off, and he realizes that he loves running, and from that day forward, anywhere I was going, I was running.
And this kid's running in the equivalent of Tim's.
Yeah.
And he's kicking up dust.
He's sprinting.
But this kid has such a heavy stomp, kind of run. Like if you actually watch him,
Timberland
you're
boots.
not going anywhere. He's wearing 30-pound weights on his feet. Is his problem?
He outruns a Chevy in the next scene.
Yes, that's right.
I mean,
I don't
this
know
is what I was talking about, where the same kids pull up in a truck and they hit him in the head with a rock again. And
this time he barely flinches. He's like,
yeah.
Oh,
he's like, rock.
They're back.
And now it's Robin Wright playing Jenny, the wonderful Robin Wright. But she just does, run, Forrest, run, get out of here. And the truck comes into the frame. The guys jump in the bed of the truck and he's sprinting down the road full speed. But he is so incredibly fast. It's like, what is this? So the truck gains on him, and it's basically almost touching him.
And he pulls away.
This is the weird movie magic where it cuts scenes so it's now in front, and the truck is 4 car lengths back at this point.
Yes,
but he turns left into this field. The truck, we were talking about this before the show. Truck never slows down. It just whips into the turn.
He's here,
and it should be right up on him.
Yeah,
and he is gone across the field. He's 100 yards out.
Well, and then see the scene where he jumps like a goddamn Belgian Malinois.
It looks exactly like the original Superman movie. When Superman jumps over a fence at one point, it looks the same. Like,
yes, and the way
he
that they
looks-
have that actor, like, and they're like, obviously he's on a harness, so he's just kind of floating in air, like
Yeah.
just
That is
yeah, and then he's like, "Wee."
that, or it looks like he hits like it looks like one of those
Mario
guys at the
jumps.
basketball games where they go dunk on the they're using the trampoline and he's just like, woo!
I do wonder if there was a little trampoline before that fence, if to clear it. I mean, it's pretty obvious that like when the truck turns, Tom Hanks keeps running, and then there's a guy, another actor, probably his brother.
It's his brother, yeah.
It's his brother who's on the other side of the field, and they're just like, "Okay, go." He's just like, keep moving it. But we passed a very poignant part of the film where we learn about Jenny's hurt when they're still kids. Yeah, and Forrest, after wherever he was going, he was running.
Yeah, and it's literally that same scene because he just starts showing him running, and he's running through town, and the old men say, "That boy's just a running fool." And he runs to Jenny's house.
Yeah,
and he says, like, because Jenny didn't go to school, she wasn't on the bus to school this morning, and when he runs up, Jenny's there in the field, like outside the house, and he talks about how Jenny didn't like being at home because her mama had died when she was when she was only 5, and her dad was very loving. He was always kissing and touching her and her sisters. And it's like, oh God. And then he finds her and she's like, quiet, Daddy's taking a nap. And then you hear the door slam open and he yells, Jenny, where are you? And they just take off into the cornfield. And he comes power walking through the cornfield holding liquor in his hand. And it's like, oh, this is exactly as horrible as it seems.
I feel like this movie, the way it was directed, it walks right up to the line and then it just kind of backs off of it just a little bit. You know, it goes right up to, like, they could show his face, they could show something else, but they just kind of let Gump's narration take it as far as it needs to, and that's the brilliant part of it. And then they kind of step back a little bit. You know,
well, they know they treat the viewer like you're not stupid. Like you don't need to be told, like, outright in so many words that she was being molested by her father. Like, we gave you enough. You know what's happening. Let's move on now.
Say even now, Jesus.
Yeah, it's Epstein's cornfield is where she was living.
This was before he bought an island. He was some kind of farmer.
They get out into this, you know, they run off into the cornfield and she pulls him down and she says, pray with me, Forrest. And that's when she starts the, dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away from here.
Tears.
And she keeps repeating it. And it goes to the next scene. And that's when he gets hit in the head with the rock and they're older and he runs off and jumps the fence. Well, he also then is running down the road with the truck still behind him. And he says, you know, and I just ran because I like to run. I never thought it would take me nowhere. And he sprints through football practice. Yes. And if you pay attention, this is how fast he's supposed to be in the movie. He runs through the play, and right as the quarterback is throwing the bomb down the field, he runs by him. He then
by the receiver
is standing next to the receiver, running with him as he catches the ball, and he continues to run off.
Yeah.
And the coach is supposed to be Bear Bryant of
Alabama Crimson Tide,
is like, who is that? And they say, it's just a village idiot.
He's just a local idiot.
Yeah, the local idiot. Yeah, the local idiot.
Sure
like, oh my gosh!
Wouldn't you know it? They wanted me to play football, and then it cuts to Brian Denny's stadium full of people, and he's
on the
looking
kickoff.
off on kickoff, just not paying attention, and the other guy catches it and hands it to him, and he goes, run, and Forrest goes, okay.
It is great.
Those are my favorite moments.
Yes.
Of this movie when he when he hands him that ball and he says run and Forrest just goes okay. Like, whatever you say, like, he just takes off. It's so awesome.
The fact that he's completely disassociated from what's happening, like the play is behind him and he's looking somewhere off just to the camera. Not moving, not doing anything, and then someone runs up and slams the football in his chest.
Well, the best is he takes off forward and sees people, and then 90-degree turns toward their sideline, and the whole sideline has to be like that way, that way, dummy. Like
he's just like, Okay.
Like
Like,
he's too
turns and
dumb
runs.
to understand the concept of like you have to run towards the end zone to score.
Like
And
what we're actually
he
doing
outruns
here is
everybody.
Yeah.
And you see like members of the band are lining up for the halftime show, and he runs
Or for the touchdown
before
celebration.
The members of the band
Takes
runs
them
down
out.
the hallway. And
He
it
hits
cuts
the
back to-
trombonist hard,
And it
dude.
cuts
Well-
back to Bear Bryant, and he's like, he's gonna be the stupidest son of a bitch alive,
alive.
but he sure is fast.
And when it cuts back to Forrest, he's running down the tunnel, and he's like, "College sure was a confusing time." In the narration.
Well, and it cuts
But
to like
I thought it was so brilliant by Zemeckis at this part. When, if you notice, on the kickoff, when Forrest gets the ball, his uniform is pristine. Like there's not a stain
one
on the whole
touches
thing,
him.
and everybody else on the field is covered in dirt and
nobody
grass stains
touched him.
because he's untouched the whole time. It's so awesome.
I'm
It's
amazed
those
that
little things that he did.
I'm amazed that as he graduated, that wasn't a football recruiter. But I like, I totally get that. No, this movie needed to take all the different lanes and paths that were really really just defining things about this era, which we're going from like, I think I worked it out, 53, 52 to 85, I want to say it was 85, 86. I'm pretty sure that's the span of this movie.
Sounds
But-
right.
Yeah, but he graduates and he's like, yeah, college was pretty difficult, weird and interesting. And they talk about the the race, the integration, the school.
College is pretty weird shit. Fuck.
Fuck me, I don't know. I invest in a fruit company and I don't got to worry about no money
so
no
funny
more.
where you're just college is like weird. And I don't fucking know, man.
I did things, experimental stuff. It was the 60s. I don't know what else to tell you. But I think he was born like in 45. So I think when he was 10, it was 55, I would say, or 9 or 10. Anyways, and they hit really good the poignant moments where like, they were integrating the schools in Alabama.
One thing that
and-
the one thing that we didn't talk about. So after the "Dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far," it does say that the police took Jenny out of her home and she went to go live with her grandmother.
Thank God.
But her life doesn't get like a whole hell of a lot better, because now she lives very close to Forrest, which he loved because they could be together all the time. And she would even ask him to stay well past his mama worrying about him, out just hanging out with her in the tree, being peas and carrots again. And she would come and sleep in his bed with him when they were children because she didn't want to be at home. And Forrest says, I think she she was scared of her grandmother's dog. He was a mean dog.
It was a mean dog. The way he
He's
says
just so-
mean dog.
Yeah, he's just so oblivious to the reality of her life and her situation, and the level of abuse and
That
everything
she must have.
that she was going through.
She must. I mean, just when you look at this woman's life choices as she gets older and who she surrounds herself with, it just was a horrible situation that she
Yeah.
Okay.
escaped. But,
I understand the sympathy and I get it, but we cannot gloss over what a piece of shit she is. The rest
She's the worst villain in movie history.
This girl speed runs. If Forrest idiots his way to greatness, she speed runs her way to mediocrity, dude. This is fucking ridiculous.
Forrest
is in college. She has recovered. We're good. Like we're on the path.
What this movie told me was, you're not good enough if you just love someone unconditionally. We gotta wait till you make millions of dollars and have your own company.
Even then,
Or
I'm
she-
only bringing you back because I'm dying and I need a kid taken care of.
Well, she fucks her life up so hard that it circles her all the way back to the safe place.
She goes back to Greenbow, Alabama.
The only good thing that ever happened to you was Forrest Gump, and if you just couldn't get past the way he talked all the time, like, come on, like this would be a good guy. Like, stay away.
The craziest part about the scene after he's in college where he gets put into the army is like, really, like none of these dudes in Alabama watched Alabama football and knew like, wait, that guy's enrolled at the University of Alabama. You can't draft him to Vietnam. He's enrolled. You can't.
Well,
he graduates.
Well, he graduates.
Oh, that's right.
It's graduation.
Yeah,
How's
the
it feel being
recruiter-
All-American?
Which
Well,
I feel that feels offensive to have someone like, hey, you just graduated college, you don't know what to do with your life for the next 3 months. here's this, and just to send him off like I could have done something else.
Well, he could have, but he signed up. He
did. But he
asked
has
them
a
like,
75
That's right.
IQ.
For some reason, my recollection is like he just like gets on the wrong bus.
No.
No, that's what happens at the
military.
rally. At the rally in front of the Washington Monument. He's just taking pictures. And someone just goes, you're part of this now. And he's like, okay. He's like, this is a disabled person by any accounts. Like, we need to protect this
funny
person.
Part is, like, he's like the perfect soldier. He's like, just turn your brain off, dude. Just turn your brain off and do what you're told. Like when they're in basic training, and he's like, they're doing the thing where Bubba's now just talking to him about shrimping the whole time, which Bubba's great. I love Bubba in this movie, but he's talking to him about, you need shrimp sandwich, shrimp stew, shrimp potatoes. And he's sitting there building his weapon. And then he's like, Conjure Sergeant. And just she comes over and he's like, Gump, why did you assemble your weapon so quickly, Gump? Because you told me, True Joe.
It's funny too because the way he says it so confused. Because you told me to.
Because you told me, True Drill Sergeant.
And he's like, God damn it, Gump, you must have an IQ of 160.
I'm recommending you for private first class. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160.
He was like, you will be a general, sir.
We gotta go back to when they're in college and he's playing football and everything because he goes to visit Jenny at her college.
Just pulled up on that scene.
Yeah, and
again,
when he gets there, it's pouring down rain, and Jenny is just making poor decisions. I mean, she's living a college girl's life at this point.
Yeah, this isn't quite.
She's like with a boyfriend or something. She's in the car, and things are getting hot and heavy, and she does not seem to want it.
She's kind of over it.
Yeah, she's like telling the guy no, and it seems like he's getting ready to do it anyway. And Forrest steps in and just takes this guy to town a a bit.
Like I said, dude, he goes T1000 on.
I was gonna say it's a nice straight up. He beats the snot out of this.
Yeah,
and he like walks up, door open, pull back, douche, douche, douche. Like he's
very Michael Myers.
You want some
robotic.
more, bitch boy?
Yeah.
I play Michael Myers. I come for you. Take her
Mind you, the question he asks, I still think it's the same woman where he's like, do you go to an all-girl college or you go to boys and girl college? She's like, it was co-ed. Oh, because Jenny went to an all-girl college. I couldn't go there. But I still went and waited outside her dorm room in the rain until she came home. You cannot see the picture I'm painting. If we didn't know Forrest Gump was a safe person, he would have been arrested as a psychopath. Like this, he would have been next to Gacy and like just in this next door to the cell. Because they would be like, this guy's gonna murder Forrest.
He would have ate Jenny.
Hello, Forrest.
Hello, Clarice. Hi.
Well, it's very funny because then they go into her dorm room and she's getting him dried off, and she, just being Jenny, man.
Like, she realizes like, oh damn, you play college football, you popped up, little boy. Like,
it's just so like awkward and weird. And she's like, oh, so do you have you ever been with a girl, Forrest? He's like, I've been with lots of girls. I sit next to him in home economics. And she takes off her top and he's like so uncomfortable. She takes his hand and puts it on her breast, and he finishes. His experience is over for the night, if you know what I mean.
This is the part that ruined the movie for my wife, because she's like, I thought he just got really awkward, and then said, no, watch closer. And she went, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Like she was like, this ruins the movie for me. I don't want to watch that again. But it is that like Jenny's whole perspective of Gump is that he is her friend. Absolutely. He is not like a boyfriend material or any kind of, sexual, like nothing registers with her towards him in that way. And so that's why she's like, oh yeah, we're just sitting on the bed. It's 1960 something. And I'm totally fine with just being like in my space around you with that. Meanwhile, her poor roommate is listening to this very loud, awkward conversation, really loudly. And I cannot stress it enough. I love the face that she's doing after he completes himself, and they pan down slowly to this roommate who's just like,
so awkward, uncomfortable.
She's
well, that's what happens when you're roomed with a hooer.
Hooer.
She had a profession. It was the oldest profession.
Yeah.
Yes.
The oldest. Yes, exactly.
5 feet away and sleeping, and they're having a very normal volume conversation. Meanwhile, she's like, "You ever been with a girl, Forrest?" He's like, "Well, I say them all the time, and touch a booby. Oh my God!"
Yeah,
and she's still supposed to be like, "Don't worry, she's sleeping."
I bet that never happens in home economics.
Like,
no, it doesn't.
No,
there's not hoovers running around home economics like that.
No, we actually put more clothes on.
Yeah, but we sew them and then wear them.
Tunics, full length tunics. So nothing's exposed.
No, but some of my favorite scenes in the movie are before the. I don't like when he's like actually in Vietnam. Those scenes are sad. But when he's like
rough.
in basic. And you can tell they're like in trouble because him and Bubba are having to clean the floor with a toothbrush. and like Bubba's doing what any normal soldier would do, where he's like, "Yep, I'm doing just enough to not get yelled at." And Forrest is like,
"Yeah, I'm getting this done." Drill sergeant asked me to. I'm doing it.
He listens.
That's what's got to happen.
That's his other superpower. He's the best listener. He's like Daredevil.
He is. He is the best listener.
I loved Aram for. I looked this up. I respect anybody who serves, and it's funny because I looked this up because I was like, how is it someone of such noted low IQ got through it? Apparently, this was a thing in Vietnam that they overlooked low IQ,
cognitive bodies.
What? Yeah, it was awful, and so many of these poor people who were drafted or like what's that word, forcefully enlisted, where they're just recruited, I guess you could say recruited, and they were literally like, they said that they had to have handlers where they would be like, you got left and you got right, and they couldn't tell the difference, and they used them just to be like, hey buddy, walk that way, walk that way for about 100 yards and then come back and tell us if anybody shoots you. And like, oh, he blew up, all right, well, people are that way, let's go. That's what they're used for. It's insane, dude. I had no idea that this was a part of it because I was like, this feels unrealistic. And then you look it up. No, this is very real.
I mean, they probably. I mean, not to give anybody an out, but they've probably been doing that in war forever.
Yeah, war is hell. They say that for a reason.
Yeah, Genghis Khan was probably like, okay, we conquered this country and they're dumb, so they go to the front.
Dude, have you ever looked up? Sorry to be on a weird topic about this, but have you ever looked up the history of Genghis Khan's funeral and why we don't know where he's buried?
Yeah, because they like carried them from one group to the next, and the group that carried them to that group all killed themselves. Yes. And then that group that carried them to the next group all killed themselves. And then they carried to the next group, and they all killed themselves. Yeah. Like he wanted nobody to know where he was because he didn't want like a shrine built to him and like statues and stuff. Like he wanted it to be secret.
Buried him, and then everyone who was there walked back home, and that group killed them. And then that group walked home, and then another group killed them, and then that group. By my understanding,
it's like the bus driver scene in Dark Knight.
No,
it's like everybody takes care of everybody. Yeah,
I killed the bus driver. What?
Yeah,
man, we gotta do those movies. Oh man.
Oh yeah, we gotta do.
Yeah,
Dark
we'll get
Knight.
there eventually. We got a lot of movies to go before that, though.
We got we got to do a Harry Potter soon. I think
that could be our Christmas stuff because there's Christmas in like every Harry Potter movie. It's great.
There's also Halloween.
Yeah, but the first movie starts like very Christmassy.
Yeah. It is very Christmassy.
But,
you're right, absolutely.
So they're in Vietnam, and they meet Lieutenant Dan when they get to Vietnam.
Let's pause real quick because one thing that we have to talk about is the soundtrack in this movie is so fucking amazing. It's ridiculous.
You know what it is? It's every soundtrack when your dad as a kid was working in the garage and you went in to ask him something, the soundtrack from Forrest Gump was playing. Because it's like
this is exactly
Son,
what it was.
And it's like Alabama. And
it sold so many records.
Speaking of
remember having
Fortunate
this.
Son, we're gonna go off on a little tangent. During COVID, whenever we would win a game of Warzone with any group we played with, either me, Tyler, or even this guy Brent that we played with, we'd win, and they'd be like, "Hit the fucking music," and you'd just hear "do da."
Yeah, I would
Because you
I would
fly
have
off in
it
a
queued.
helicopter, like in the
I would have
Forrest
it
Gump
queued
scene.
on my phone, and I'd just start playing Fortunate Son on my phone as the helicopter left the war zone.
Oh man,
Because it looks like the scene where they land in Vietnam and they're playing Fortunate Son.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the first verse of the song. I know Fortunate Son. Oh, some people born.
I was born made to raise flag.
Yes.
Ooh, red, white, blue.
Hail to the chief. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good old CCR.
Yeah,
Creedence Clearwater
man,
Revival.
Creedence Clearwater Revival is so good. I'm gonna go see. He is not in the same generation. I don't know why you made me think of him, but I'm gonna go see Dave Matthews in a week. That's gonna be really fun too.
Well, that's more like.
Oh, you know why? Because Dave Matthews has done some really cool versions of like All Along the Watchtower and a Creedence song. He has done cool covers of that. Yeah, but Gump and Bubba, they get through basic training, and Gump's like in a duck in water, I think is a phrase they talk about him, because he is perfect for the Army. He just does what he tells you and always answer, yes, sir. But then he had a couple nights off, and he goes to like the local bar tab, or I don't know what this place was.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
strip
yeah.
club.
So he's laying in bed in the bunk one night, and his buddy's like, "Hey, Gump, check out the tits on this girl," and throws him a Playboy, and he starts flipping through the Playboy, and Jenny's there in her college sweater, and he basically
guitar.
says, Jenny got in trouble for some pictures she took in her college sweater, and so basically she gets thrown out of college for being a hooer at the time. Now it's not that bad because everybody has their OnlyFans.
Yeah, now they'd be like, "Hey, don't do it on school property."
Yeah, people go out dressed the way she was dressed in that picture. Like it's not even bad. Like,
dude,
it's just
like,
you need to see that.
You're
you
a
go
girl listening to this podcast, like, you can dress however you want, but like some of those places you're going are dirty as shit. And you may want to have a little bit just for you, like this for your own,
just for hygiene.
As a medical professional,
sort of crazy. That's how I do.
I mean, sort of. You do surgery.
So so he goes to this
be
bar
safe out there, kids.
Be safe. Kids. But he goes to this bar, and Jenny's there, and she's trying to perform. Like she said, she wants to be a musician and stuff. And she
like Joan Baez.
Yes.
Just
she wants to go to Nashville.
She wants to be like the folk movement that was going on, like in San Francisco at the time, like psychedelics and
Bob Dylan.
Man, peace and love, bro. Peace and
love. Bob Dylan. Yeah.
Little Bob Dylan, and not Cats in the Cradle, Silver Spoon.
Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens. Thank you. Morning has broken.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh my God. Sorry.
No, like Peter, Paul, and Mary, and
Mamas
the
and
Birds.
the Papas.
Yeah.
Mamas and the Papas.
That's Elle's favorite band, by the way.
Mama Cass.
Such
ham
good
sandwich.
Music.
No, Elle's favorite band would be the Mamas and the Papas.
No, but I was thinking of Austin Powers, and he's like Jimi Hendrix, drug overdose. Something, drug overdose.
Yeah.
Mama Cass, ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich.
She choked on a ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich.
So he goes
to this club to see Jenny perform, and it's obviously like a burlesque club, like
titty club.
Yeah, titty bar, whatever you want to call it. And she gets out there playing as Bobby Dylan, and she actually is singing, very nicely with her guitar, but she's definitely nude behind this guitar.
She does a Peter, Paul, and Mary song, right?
I think so.
She does Bob Dylan.
No, she does a Bob Dylan song. That's why she's called Bobby Dylan.
How many men?
No, that's
How many roads must a man walk down before they can call him a man?
Yeah.
But then the guys in the front row start groping at her and waving money at her, trying to get her to move the guitar so she can just get naked. And then the guy grabs her, and she's like, "Hey, I'm singing here," and like kicking him, and he throws the drink on her.
And then what happens, Matt?
Dude, and fucking
T1000
T1000 comes back.
Gump outright. He has two modes. He has running and killing
and baiting
I have people.
Running and punching.
Yeah, because he walks up. I mean, I imagine that Tom Hanks had to work out a bit for this role, because he does look like he's in great physical shape. Because the way he grabs this guy's shoulder, who I'm assuming was stunt coordinated, but he grabs this guy and throws him like a good 4 or 5 feet behind him just from his shirt collar. And I was like, there's acting, and then there's like, holy shit, Tom, like, calm down a minute. Like,
just muscling him out of there.
We're all working for the same project here, bud, to get a paycheck. But yeah,
he gets up on stage and picks up Jenny.
I was like,
guitar and all.
As she's like beating on him, like, stop.
Yeah, like, get off me, Forrest.
She's like, dude, put me down, and you pick me up. It makes it worse. It makes it, they see so much more than if you just let me walk.
She is just the darkness in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and it sucks because she is like the villain, like the evil Cloud, but
running bad decisions. Like, in a video game, how you can get the good ending and the bad ending. Jenny's life is like, oh, you fucked everything up. Like, you didn't save this guy. You didn't find this thing.
This is another scene that, like, you see the darkness that she lives in, and like why she makes these horrible decisions with her life, and just. Like they go to this bridge, and she's saying, like, Forrest, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep trying to save me. You can't keep showing up. I love you, but you can't keep doing this. And then she says, you remember when we prayed for God to make me a bird so I could fly far, far away? And he says, yes. And she says, do you think I could fly off this bridge? And it's like, dude,
no.
Like, the level of depression that this woman is living in is so horrendous.
Oh, yeah.
And Forrest is like, I could love you, Jenny. You could come back and I could take care of you. And he says, she's like, no, and she just starts flagging down a random truck driving down the road.
So
unsafe. It's like, okay, but at that yes, it's very
scary,
very unsafe. But at that time in the United States, hitchhiking was normal. Like, it was very normal.
Yeah, and
I had
murder.
Yeah, a lot of people were serial killed because they were hitchhiking.
Because it went okay 99 out of 100 times doesn't mean it was perfectly safe.
The one time that it went bad, it went really bad.
As bad as it can
Really
go.
bad.
That's
Where is it?
look, more hitchhikers.
Cool
Pick them
scene,
up.
But it looks really bad. Really, it's a cool scene.
It's a cool scene.
Exactly.
No, but like I think I had a guy in college actually who came to visit me, and he was from our youth group back in the day, and he was raped
along the way.
He was hitchhiking, and I had to ask him because he hitchhiked like from Miami all the way to Gainesville, and I was like, "Hey, how's that going for you, bud?" And he was like, "You get a lot of weird people, but most of them are nice. Most of them are nice." And it's like, that's not enough for me. You sure you don't want to just buy a bus ticket to New York? And he's like, yeah, maybe I do.
So he was on his way to New York, and he stopped to see you in Gainesville hitchhiking?
Yes, he was hitchhiking the whole time. Yeah. And
okay, because I was going to say, who in their right mind hitchhikes from Miami to Gainesville? Now, Miami to New York, San Francisco, at the time, especially back in the 60s, like everybody was hitchhiking to San Francisco. But who's like, bro, I gotta get to Gainesville.
Hey, man.
I gotta get to Gainesville right now.
Hey, man, when Matt was in Gainesville, Tim Tebow was in Gainesville, okay? So let's put some respect.
The good Lord. The good Lord was blessing the G-ville at the time. It was
but still, I couldn't see myself, even as a huge Gator fan, be like, I gotta hitchhike there now.
That wasn't his goal.
Called out Drink Gator, right?
I gotta take my booty hole in my own hands and get this guy's car and hope to God. Hope to God nothing happens.
He was trying to go up the coast playing shows as he went to make his money. And I mean, it sounds cool. Like he was playing
Sounds dangerous.
Sounds cool if you have your own car.
It sounds cool if this was the 60s. Let's put it in that context. If this
Even
was
if you had
the 60s,
like a beat up shitty van that just it was crappy, but it ran.
Yeah, but it ran. No, but this was 2009. Not as safe as
good way to end up
maybe
on
1960s. Yes, it's a great way to end on a milk carton.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
No, absolutely not.
Hi, Mom
I
and
assume.
like I could have just imagined like a teenage, like a 17-year-old, where it's like it's 10:30 on a Friday. Do you know where your kids are? And like they look down and their 17-year-old sitting on the floor, and he's like, "We have a good boy," and the kid's like, "I'm such a fucking loser, man."
Yeah, seriously.
Slowly pans to a chain around his ankle that's just bolted to the floor.
Well, and going back to the scene when she's hitchhiking, like if you pay attention, she says the guy stops and she's like, "Can I get a ride?" And he says, "Where are you going?" She says, "Wherever."
Yeah.
She's just drifting, man. She has no plan, she doesn't care. Like she doesn't care.
Drugs.
So
it's
where
cool
the drugs. If I kill you, because obviously no one knows where you are and no one knows where you're going. And you don't even have a clue, so this is fine.
She's on like hardcore drug, like she's doing like heroin and stuff.
Later on, like she hasn't started that yet.
It gets up there.
But the only person in the world that really loves her is standing right there.
Yes.
And she can't get away from him fast enough. And now you get the idea when you watch it a bunch of times that she is trying to get away from him to save him.
Yeah, like
she's like, get away from me, Forrest. Get away from me. Like, and it you get the feeling like it's not get away from me because I don't want you here. I don't want you with me. Like I'm bad for you. Go get out of here. And he says like, Jenny, they're sending me to Vietnam.
And this is the only good advice she ever gives him.
Yeah, and she could tell like she's genuinely scared for him.
If you get in a bad situation, you run. You don't try to be a hero. You just run. And he's like,
okay,
homie. Right.
Okay, Jenny.
I'm good at that. I like that.
Yeah, and that's when it cuts, and they're going into.
She held up his hand.
Well, to their base in Vietnam,
where Lieutenant Dan tells Bubba to tuck his lip in because he doesn't want to get it caught on tripwire. I'm like, you can't do that, dude.
I love this whole scene where it's like, hi, I'm Lieutenant Dan Taylor, and they're like, yes, sir, and he's like, don't salute me.
Fucking salute me.
Snipers are just looking to take out an officer around here.
And Gump's like,
all right.
What?
He's like looking around for them. He's like,
people say that Vietnam was a lot like America, was way different than America, and other than the beer cans and the barbecue,
so much beer.
They was right.
So much beer just hanging out on just pallets of it as they get off the helicopter. It's not even like, oh yeah, that's over there, and we get that on special nights. No, here you go. It's 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. Just take it. You're in Vietnam.
You're in hell. You might as well be drunk while you're there.
Dude, there's like videos and stuff from like actual Vietnam where like the term shotgunning, where like when people smoke, they shotgun, like is from Vietnam, where they would pack marijuana into the chamber of their shotguns and smoke it out of the barrel.
Good Lord.
And if it goes off, whatever.
Well,
we're in Vietnam.
They're obviously unloaded shotguns. They weren't sucking on loaded barrels, but like they have videos and stuff of these like that. A lot of these guys brought home drugs and drug habits from Vietnam with them.
From
like
being
doing
in Vietnam.
Opium and heroin and stuff in Vietnam.
Dodgeball was invented by opium.
But they I mean, those guys, they had to do some, like they did some horrendous stuff. Like
both sides.
Yeah, Vietnam was a like, but every war I'm sure is just as horrible. But this was like the first time that television,
the modern
and like,
war.
Well, it's not like it's not like the revolution where we lined up across from each other and it was like, okay, you shoot, and then we'll shoot.
Well, it's not even like World War I and World War II, where it's like those are the bad guys, and this was guerrilla warfare, where it's like they're in the trees, they're in holes in the ground, we're napalming rice fields, and like it was bad on both sides. Like, but it's like what you're talking about. Like this is how war is, and like it's not made to be televised. It's not made to be broadcast to the world. War is hell, and they say that for a reason. Like it's not a good thing. It's like the worst thing that humanity does to each other. But and like they do such a good job in this movie of the heaviness of it. While keeping it light at the same time, where Lieutenant Dan is talking to them about like keep your feet clean, like take care of your feet. Your feet,
he says it like 4 or 5 times. You're absolutely right.
And it's funny because working at Golden Rule, where there's constantly everything's wet and everything. Like one of the first things these guys told me was get yourself some rubber boots because if your feet get wet, they'll start to rot basically off your body. Like if your feet are wet all day long, and you like they'll just dissolve away. And that's what they were doing in Vietnam, was trudging through like water and gross mud like all the time.
Yeah, my
so
buddy
he was
George
like insistent.
Shout out my buddy George that I work with. He works at our surgery center, and I was telling him we were doing Forrest Gump. He's like, "Oh yeah, Vietnam." I was like, "Yeah, keep your feet dry." And he's like, "That's like a real thing." He was like, "That's a thing."
That's really is.
I mean, I'll tell you
he's like, I pack extra socks in my knapsack in case my socks get wet when I go back to do training because that sucks. Like it's the worst.
I can't imagine with them like doing like the rucks or whatever they call it, where they walk like where basically you're training to do what you're going to do over there, where you have like your heavy pack and you walk forever, and your feet get wet and then they start like blistering and falling apart, and you're having to just keep walking like that. Oh no, thank you, no thank you.
Yeah, dude, I agree with Lieutenant Dan. Change them often, change them whenever we stop, dude. Just keep them dry.
But he talks about like, Lieutenant Dan had a rich history in his family. A member of Lieutenant Dan's family had fought, and the cuts are crazy. And it's like the Revolutionary War, and it's like Gary Sinise dressed as like a revolutionary character, like dying onto the ground, like
Civil War.
Civil War.
World War I.
World War II. Had fought and died in every single American war.
So he walks in with a chip on his shoulder a little bit about like, I know what I'm here to do. I'm here to possibly die.
Yeah, well, I would like, this is his destiny. He's like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
He's like,
I'm supposed to die here.
Let's get this over with.
He's good that he doesn't have any relations, but that would have been the end of the Gary Sinise, Lieutenant Dan. His family. That would have been it, because he's not like, I got a wife and kid at home who can then carry on this tradition.
I could tell that Matt's been watching like YouTube videos and stuff, because he said Sinise, and every single YouTube video that I watched, it says Gary Sinise. The Sinise Foundation it's Sinise. Gary Sinise.
Oh, it is Sinise. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
There's a interview that he did with somebody where apparently because he's Italian and his grandfather came over through Ellis Island, and their last name was Sinise. Like said in Italian or whatever. But when they got to Ellis Island, they were like signing their names in the book that they were coming in. Yeah. And the guy was like, how do you say it? And he was like, it's Sinise. You'll be Sinise. And his grandfather really wanting to be an American and be patriotic was like, okay, it's Sinise from now on. And they changed his last name right there. That happened to a lot of people when they came in.
And I heard that he was like, okay.
Well, he was so eager. He wanted to be an American.
He was an eager beaver.
That's the
exactly. But yeah, Gary Sinise, saying he's a phenomenal actor.
Oh, he's amazing. But it's funny that this is one out of 3 movies that they worked together in.
Is this going to be
Apollo 13 and Green Mile?
Only about halfway through this thing.
Yes, we absolutely are. I was going to wrap it up here in a second. Yes. Okay. I think it's 3 that they've done.
Yeah, 3 movies all together.
Was he in the Green Mile?
He was Green Mile, Apollo 13.
And this one, Apollo 13. I couldn't think of the third one.
But I wanted to end it where so he was walking around boot camp, showing them what they're going to be doing, telling Bubba to keep his lip tucked in so he doesn't get it caught in a tripwire. And then Olivia is like, "Are you guys?" Because they keep answering like, "Where are you guys from?" And they're both like, "Alabama." And
sir.
he's like. And he's like, okay. And then like they answer another question simultaneously, like, you guys twins or something? And they're like, we are
of no relation.
And Lieutenant Dan is just like, oh my, yeah, no shit, dude, it was a joke.
He was like, get down.
Lieutenant Dan then knows exactly what he's getting from training. He's like, oh shit, okay, you're the ones who kill me. Great.
Yeah. Well, then he goes into like the bathroom and he keeps going to like sit down and keeps popping up. He's like, all right, I have 2 rules. 2 rules. Number 1, keep your feet dry. Always keep your feet dry. Take care of your feet. Number 2, don't do anything stupid, like get yourself killed. And then Forrest turns to Bubba and he's like, I really hope I don't let him down. But yeah, we'll stop there. We'll pick back up with Forrest Gump in Vietnam when we come back next week. It's there's a lot to cover still. Forrest Gump is quite the ride, and
Vietnam's
it's amazing to watch.
Big part of
like,
it. Vietnam is a large part of the movie, just to say the least.
Like
oh
the
yeah, for
build up
sure.
to it, and then
Huge
like the
portion.
falling after it.
Yeah,
It's like it's all tied to him and Bubba, really.
which I gotta say,
Well,
no, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
It's just the world that revolves around Forrest. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Just
Like,
him.
there's when you think about it, like, there's so much movie left to go.
If you're ignorant enough and polite enough, you be there. Hey,
I mean,
you just be
just
around.
the most gentle, happy person the whole time. Time.
Run,
but
man.
if you have not seen it, check it out. Forrest Gump is totally worth the watch. It makes no sense why this movie would be as good as it is, but watching it 3 and 4 and 5 times to get ready for the show, it still is great. From the performances to the music to the special effects. Like, for instance, Sally Field's only 10 years older than Tom Hanks, and it was a big fear of the studios and stuff. They didn't want to use Sally Field. They wanted to use a different actress. And Gary Zemeckis said, no, like, she's great. She can do it. And they totally make it work. She looks like she's his mother. She looks like she's much older than him. She fits. She does a phenomenal job in this movie. But go check it out and get ready for us to cover more of it next week, to get back together and talk about the ridiculous ride that is Forrest Gump's life. But thank you guys so much for tuning in every week. Those of you who do, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is pretty much what we do. We try to keep it silly and fun. And don't forget about Pedigo Art. Dude's stuff is really good, and he's a really good guy. We appreciate you guys. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere podcasts you can listen to them. Spotify, we have video up there now. Check us out on YouTube. Go to YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Please comment, hit that notification bell. Let us know what you're wanting to hear, what you want us to cover. We're doing. Basically, the doors are blown off now. We've been holding back on a lot of these big
really
blockbusters.
good ones. Yeah,
we're off the wagon. We don't know.
Yeah, we've been holding back on some of our favorite films to give people a chance to get a feel for us, and for us to build some listeners. And now we're just kind of like, whatever, the gates are off. Whatever we have nostalgia for, whatever we loved, we're gonna do. So we'd like to do the same. If you guys want to hear stuff, if you guys have stuff you love and you want us to talk about. But we really appreciate you. And until next time,
I'm Matt.
Trey.
And I'm Tyler. Cowbunga.